Good afternoon, investigators. Mike Evans from the Australian Security Academy with episode 285 of Spy Curious. If you're watching live, please say hi in the chat. I'm here by myself today. Casey can't make it. She's unwell. So sorry, I'll try and answer everything and do everything as I go. Today, we're looking at the four main sources of change in every business and how it affects your investigation business. It's a really important thing to understand and goes to basically every one of our 19 nationally recognised qualifications. G'day, Amber, great to see you. Thanks for checking in from beautiful Canberra. Thanks for letting me know you're there. G'day, Chantel, down in wonderful northern New South Wales at the top end near the border. Good on you, Chantal. Great to see you. G'day, Jack, from beautiful Tasmania. Jack reckons his house roof is going to end up in New Zealand soon. He's living in the roaring 40s. Well done, Jack. Great. Thanks for checking in, people. So today we're looking at the four main sources of change in every business. It's a really important concept that you understand for your own investigation business or for any business that you're ever associated with, because it's how it works. But before I get into that, I've got some really big news that I'm so proud of. Hi, Michelle. Great to see you. Thanks for checking in. I'm really pleased with this. I am just so proud of this. Sammy on LinkedIn. There's Sammy on LinkedIn, people. Get in touch with Sammy and connect with her on LinkedIn, please. Last week in Brisbane, Sammy was awarded, she's an Australian Security Academy graduate, just like all you people watching right now. Sammy was awarded the Australian Institute of Professional Intelligence Officers winner of the Australian Emerging Intelligence Professional Award at the annual conference last week in Brisbane, as you were watching this program this time last week. What a great achievement, Sammy. Well done. The Australian Security Academy, its staff, its graduates, and its students extend a very warm congratulations on such a significant achievement. And here is Sammy at Brisbane at the conference holding that award with both hands so she doesn't drop it. Okay, that's really important. And this is the actual award and the certificate that came with it. A super achievement, Sammy. From over in Perth in Western Australia to win that national award. We are just so pleased to see it. It's great. Pioneering work, and it's just an amazing achievement by Sammy last week in Brisbane. So once again, it's Sammy's LinkedIn profile. Get in touch with her. Ask to connect with the winner of the Australian Emerging Intelligence Professional Award in Brisbane last week. Ask to connect with her. Send her a message. Tell her you're an Australian Security Academy student. You'd like to connect on LinkedIn. So what absolutely great news. I just love it. That's the award on their website. It looks very similar to one of ours, but Sammy's the title holder for the next year, and good on her. So really pleased to see that. Oh boy. So that's the good news this week. In other news this week, just fix my banner there. Well done, Sammy. I am going to come to the four main sources of change in every business in a second, but there's some other news this week where I had some job vacancies, but I don't know what's happened to them. Principal coordinator and investigator down in Hobart, Tasmania. They want to pay you almost $131,000 max with an 11% superannuation on top of that to be the principal coordinator and investigator for Tasmanian Health. So that opportunity came up this week. I was alerted to it by by an Australian Security Academy graduate down in Tassie. And what a wonderful job opportunity. That's a real big one. Wouldn't it be nice? So great job opportunity down in Hobart currently. And in Queensland, this one's a corporate investigation position for an insurance investigator for the RACQ. Now, you don't have to be licensed to hold this role. This is a corporate job. You'll be working for the insurance company internally. So you do not have to have a license for the RACQ in order to do this. All these jobs, people, are on our Australian Security Academy's Facebook page, where we curate some of the jobs. I haven't had a chance to do any of them this week. So I'm a little bit out of date, but they're two new ones. Seeker Group down in Melbourne, they want factual investigators. Get in touch with the Seeker Group, give them a Google. Southern Cross Investigations are after factual investigators in Victoria. So are Clarity and Pinkertons. And I had a student who graduated just 2 months ago. She's now working for Clarity, and her partner enrolled in the course today. So they're seeing some great success at Clarity, and great success with our students currently. G'day, Andrew. Great to see you, mate. Thanks for checking in, buddy. Really appreciate it. So coming back to where was I? So they're the job vacancies. Quantum Corp, they're after fact investigators in New South Wales. So get in touch with them and apply for those jobs through our website. They're in Queensland. This hit the headlines this week. Queensland in the Queensland Fire Service, during a course at the facility for training in Brisbane, some inappropriate behaviour was going on where one of the people there was ringing a bell every time what he thought was an attractive female fire recruit walked past. So this has been exposed by the ABC in Brisbane. There were a couple of other people that were in on it, but there was only one person doing the actual behaviour, and this has caused a real stir. It was dealt with at the time by the senior person in charge of the fire service. It's totally inappropriate behaviour. The QFS has issued a statement in regards to it, but that was exposed this week up in Brisbane. So it's part of the news that came on this week. I'll come back to the rest of the news later. Let's get on with it. The 4 main sources of change in every business. Now, you must understand this for your investigation business, because it's going to help you to monitor what's going on with your marketing and your business planning. And it's going to help you with if you lose customers because they move away, or you lose customers because they don't need you anymore, they retire, or you lose customers because of bad debts or whatever. So if you understand the reasons that happen, that change in business, then you can prepare for it with your planning. So let's go through it quite quickly. I won't hold you up till I get myself sorted. Okay. So the 4 main sources of change in every business, the first 3 are there. Number 1, customers changing location. So let's have a look at it. Let's say you live in Victoria. Okay, so, or Canberra. Okay, doesn't matter. So maybe we could substitute Canberra there for Victoria, and you decide that you're sick of being cold and you're gonna move. You just had enough of running your investigation business. You're going to be the spy who came in from the cold. So you're going to run away from the cold and move up next to me in Queensland on the Gold Coast. The number 1 reason for change in business is customers changing location. We're a very mobile workforce and population. We can sea change, we can tree change, we can desert change. So people changing location means they've moved away from you and you've lost a customer. what you have to do is adjust your business to replace that customer so you increase your turnover next year. This is what we're doing. This is what the aim is all the time. In Queensland, when you arrive there, the biggest decision you're going to make every day is which pair of shorts are you going to wear? So they've made a pretty positive decision to move to Queensland. The second thing that affects business is customers changing wants. Now, people just want to go surfing and smoke cones all day. That's what customers generally do. Basically, sometimes they grow up and they want a career and an income and self-respect and smoke cones all day. But what I'm saying is they change what they want. They want recreation, sport, freedom. Then they might change, I need an income, I've got to study, I've got to get a house, whatever. So they change as they grow older. So I today, quite old, there's stuff I don't need anymore. There's stuff I really want now. I don't know, hearing aids, walking sticks, that sort of thing. I want that now, whereas I never wanted that before. So I'm in the market for that sort of stuff. Then customers change their needs. Here's mum, she's just had a baby. Her needs have just drastically changed.
Mommy shark do 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 do. Mommy shark do 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 do. Mommy shark do 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 do. Mommy shark.
She now needs nappies. She now needs dummies. She now needs babysitters. She now needs daycare. All these needs have changed as this person's career has developed. So we must be aware of this as business people. They're not always going to need the same old product. Have we got a diploma and an advanced diploma for them to go on with if we're running an RTO? Have we got the right products for that customer if we are a private investigator or a government investigator? Should we add child abuse investigations into the mix of what we do to replace the customers we lose who moved away, changed their wants and changed their needs? That's how it goes. So the child grows up and mum's needs change again, and the kid basically shoves mum into an aged care facility.
Grandma shark do 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 do. Grandma shark do 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 do. Grandma shark do 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 do. Grandma shark.
So now that customer who had the baby is suddenly in aged care and they need hearing aids, they need equipment for going to chair exercises or for going to play cards or going to the sing-along after the end of the day or whatever. Okay, so again, it's changed. So customers change location, customers change their wants, customers change their needs. What is the fourth one? They're the three, but they're not the biggest. The biggest one actually affects you right now in 2024. And it affected private investigators in Victoria this week. And we've announced that this week in episode 283, which you can go on to YouTube and watch, and you can see how it's affected private investigators there. The fourth one is government. Government interference is a major driver of change in Australia and other countries in the world. It affects every business. So, interest rates have slowed down spending and slowed down inflation, according to the government. Okay, that's what they say. That's what they tell us. That's what they try and communicate to us. During COVID, the government provided support, income support, for people who were employees of businesses that were affected and their wages were paid. It's a positive government interference fallback that you can relate to of recent times in Australia. As a business owner of an investigation agency or your own consultancy conducting investigations on behalf of government or security risk management or for fraud control or whatever it is you do, you must understand all of those things affect your business.
It's the antidote. It's the antidote. It's the antidote. It's the end.
Well, it is the end and it's not. Basically, the aim of every business, once they've identified that, whether it's an investigation business, security risk management business, mercantile agent debt collection business, government investigation, fraud control, or security vetting business, has to replace those customers. How to do that? We'll look at another time. But what we have done there is we've identified the areas that impact the most and can lead to business loss. We lose a customer if they move away. We lose a customer if they change what they need. We lose a customer if they change what they want. And government interference might hold back on their spending if we're running a restaurant or something like that. So understanding that as the person running your own investigation business, that is paramount. There are ways, and I will cover it in a future episode of Spy Curious, how to replace those lost customers. All right. There is one other one that happens. It's people die. You lose a customer as a result of that. It's not as common as all the others. Okay, it takes a long time. All right, so that's very important. Moving back to our news in investigations this week. Oh boy, it's been happening in investigations this week. So what's happened down in Victoria? The fake penis lawyer, prolific drug use exposed, was the headline in the news down in Victoria. They even named him. So lawyer Anthony Grant's been denied bail and he's remained in solitary confinement for his own health and safety. They've raided his home and they've found drugs, cash, and a fake penis. And they tell you all about this in the news and its headlines. And poor old Anthony's had all his everything that he's been doing splattered all over the newspaper. Whoops. And that was basically the fake penis that they found. What is he using that for? And why is it such a big deal that the cops want to plaster it all over the newspaper? We've covered it. Workplace health and safety in the series in this program. So what it means is you can jump online if you know you have to go and have a drug test at work in forestry, mining, transport, shipping, government, astronauts, pilots, whatever. You know, you can jump online and buy yourself a fake penis. It's called a Whizzinator. And the Whizzinator comes with a plastic bag and you put in fake synthetic urine and you go into the laboratory and you give a sample for your drug test so that you can not give a real sample, which shows that you're a junkie, that you've been shooting up all weekend or smoking cones or whatever you've been doing. All right. You use the Whizzinator to replace that. And people do. Now, our lawyer, part of his bail from previous convictions was he had to be drug tested. So that's why he had it. So that's why the police are plastering it all over the newspapers, is to send the message, don't do it. We're onto that. And if you're going to cheat the drug test system, we're going to tell the people in charge of the court what you've been doing. So the Whizzinator site, you can get a heating pad to make your synthetic urine appear like it's real. You can get the Whizzinator Touch, the most realistic prosthetic synthetic urine device. You can get a Golden Flask Premium Premix synthetic urine. I don't want to tell you what other devices they had on there, but this is what people who are going to cheat the drug test that you are investigating, this is what they're going to use. Now, there are other brands and similar products. You're not doing the drug testing yourself. You're doing the investigation into the inappropriate conduct and the inappropriate behaviour. So that's why the police have plastered all over the newspaper. So he's breached his bail conditions he was using, and that's what they've done. Because why else would he have that product? Well, actually, he's probably got a good reason to. And what the Wizinator website does, it says it's not for cheating drugs, it's for pranks and having fun. And smoking cones all day is good for your health too. So that's what's happened down in Victoria. You can check it out in the newspapers in Victoria. Lots of information on it. Other news in this week, DLA Piper's Paul Knapp has started up his own consultancy. He's the one that got into trouble last year over the international organisations in Australia and the PwC tax scandal with leaking confidential anti-tax avoidance information and getting around that. He was one of them. DLA Piper on one Sunday night came to basically ask him to leave their company. DLA Piper, a big law firm in Australia and internationally, and they didn't want to be associated with him anymore because of what happened with the PwC tax scandal. Now, that was all right by DLA Piper 2 years before that when they employed him for tax purposes for their clients, but it became unsavoury, so they asked him to leave and they signed a confidentiality agreement. So Paul started his own consultancy. You might think, oh, he'll never get a job again or whatever, but look, people who cheat the tax system will know how to do it. Don't black customers. There were two tax officers, senior managers standing in the tax office having a smoke outside the door, and they watched a lady leaving the tax office. She had a backpack on, and in a backpack sticking out of the back of the backpack, this is back in the day when you filled out forms and it wasn't online, she had dozens rolled up tax claim annual tax return forms, blank, and in her backpack. And the two officers said to each other, she is the hardest working person in this taxation department. She really is. This was on a Friday night. Then it sort of dawned upon them, why is she taking all those blank forms home? Now, when they raided her house with the Australian Federal Police and the tax office, they had to line up behind all the customers waiting outside around the block who were going in, and she was doing dodgies on their tax return for them and getting them incredibly large tax returns. It was reasonably low level, but it was an embarrassment to the tax office, and it's never ending. We have a trust tax system and people will exploit it. Other things, hardest working person in the tax office taking all that work home. So also in this week, ANZ traders have been sacked because of intoxication and profanities used on the trading floor at the ANZ, at the Australian Stock Exchange. If you use profanities, you're not going to be working for the ANZ. I don't think you can spend 30 seconds in the Australian Stock Exchange without hearing a profanity, but they've identified a couple of people and they've lost their job over it. I've already covered that one. Already done that one. So people, the changes down in Victoria that are happening with the new Act amendment that's coming in, the County Court Amendment Act. I'm visiting Victoria very regularly. On the 14th and 15th of October, I'm booked out for recognition of prior learning interviews for that. On the 11th to 12th of October, I think on the 11th, I've still got about 3 appointment opportunities if you're looking for recognition of prior learning for that. Most of you watching this probably will get cross credits instead of recognition of prior learning. But the deal is with ASQA, the Senior Auditing Authority, they want their appeals done with this type of thing when it's licensing to be face-to-face. So I'm visiting Victoria very regularly over the next 12 months to accommodate that. Like I said, be there on October 14th, totally booked out. Still got facility on the 11th towards the middle of the day, but not a lot. Watch episode 283 if you want to see what the County Court Amendment Act is all about. Basically, what's going to happen down there is that everyone who is a licensed private investigator in Victoria is going to have to get a business license in Victoria, as well as a private investigator license as of June 2025. So that's come in. It's in the Act. It's received royal assent, and it will be happening. You need a certain qualification enabled to do that. Watch episode 283. It tells you all about it. We won't bore everybody to death again. So that tells you all about it. It tells you where to find the link to save a lot of money on that if you're an Australian Security graduate student. Now, the important thing you must understand, if you're an Australian Security Academy student studying Certificate 3 in Investigative Services in New South Wales, in South Australia, in West Australia, Tasmania, Queensland, doesn't affect you, only affects Victoria. And if you're a student studying it, that's okay. You don't need it by the time you graduate. After you graduate, you have 12 months to get that. Okay, so that's fine. There's no panic. In New South Wales, you have to have private investigator license and a business license. It's called a master license, just like in Victoria. What's the big deal with all of that? It's government. Government interference is a major driver of change in what every business in the world does. Okay, so really, it's really important to understand that if you are in Victoria.
I happen to be a licensed private detective.
If you happen to be that, it's because
the government, hasn't the government got enough to do without worrying about the rest?
The government have made that decision. It's no big deal. People will comply with it. Some people won't comply with it. That's fine. They'll just go on to security risk management or whatever they want to do. That's okay. That's the changes coming in. Thank you for watching this week. I hope you've enjoyed the program. We'll have Casey back next week. I'm sure she'll be feeling better. We'll catch you then. I'm Mike Evans from the Australian Security Academy. You have been watching episode 285, Spy Curious, going out the usual.
작전 종료. 전원 복귀할 것.
It's the end.
Government. Correct.
That last one from the Marathon Man, you got to watch that if you're a spy. Really great movie. Once again, the Marathon.
Government. Correct.
See you next week, people. Thanks for watching.